Listen, there's no knight in shining armor or superhero coming to save you. You have to save yourself. So let's figure out how to become your own hero in 7 steps. According to the American Psychological Association, 75% of people who took control of their own goals reported feeling more confident and resilient in the face of challenges. So essentially, I was drowning in life, and essentially, I saved myself. I was the hero in my own journey. And I believe everyone can be their own hero. If you're struggling with anything, it doesn't matter what it is, but usually there's some limiting beliefs at play for all of us when we're struggling. You can get beyond those and you can heal and you can change your mindset and you can be the hero in your own story. I really believe that. So let's find out 7 steps to become your own hero. Number 7, make time for your passions. Your passions are what make you tick. They're what make you feel like yourself and get in touch with yourself and get to know yourself better. They bring you joy. They're what help put you into a flow state, a state of pure bliss. So please make time for your passions. You're worth it. One of my greatest passions is growth and healing. And I got really into these topics 5 years ago. The reason I'm so passionate about growth and healing is because it's completely changed my mindset and my perception of my life, and it's completely changed my life. I'm also really passionate about creative expression. And it's funny because on the surface, they don't look that much alike. And by creative expression, I mean any form of art, any form of creating art. So for me, it's writing, dance, choreography, acting. I woke up and I'm like, this isn't the life I want. And I'm not really at peace. I'm not really fulfilled. I'm not really happy. And then I'm like, why am I still not happy? And I put a lot of work into a lot of different things that I thought would make me happy, including going to therapy and being on medication for clinical depression, generalized anxiety disorder, PTSD. Number 6, adopt a growth mindset. A growth mindset means that you know you can learn something new, you can adapt, you can grow. You're not stuck in the place you're at right now. There's opportunities out there because you have the ability to learn. And so adopt a growth mindset, continue to learn. Learn everything you can about yourself, about what you need to do to heal, and about what you need to do to create your dream life, to create the most fulfilling life you can and be happy on your terms. Personally, when I discovered the law of attraction, it made me realize that I need to take a lead role on my healing journey, and I need to be a leader in my life. I need to decide what I want and go after it, and I'm the only one who really knows what's going on in here and in here, right? So I need to be aware of that. When I discovered the law of attraction, I dove really deep into personal development. I dove really deep into every healing modality I could think of. And for me, I was able to pick out limiting beliefs like I didn't feel like I was worthy, I didn't feel like I was enough, I didn't feel like I was lovable. And I was able to work through those to the point where now I know that I'm lovable, I know that I'm enough, I know that I'm worthy. These are universal limiting beliefs that I think everyone deals with to some extent at some point in their life. For those of us that have been through trauma, it could be crippling, you know? Number 5, build a support system. So this obviously means family and friends, reaching out to them when you need support. But it also means getting a therapist, joining a support group, facing your demons. It means joining a group with people who are going through a similar thing or are on a similar path. And it's just important to remember how important community is. Life is hard. We are never meant to do it alone. Therapy is like really important to me. I'm still in therapy. I've made huge progress with my current therapist the last like 4 years. So I'm a big proponent of it. Number 4, practice self-love and self-care. So you're the only person who's going to be with you for your entire life. And so your self-love and acceptance and care is the most important. Aside from exercise, sleep, a healthy diet, you could do a gratitude practice, you could do meditation, mindfulness practice, positive affirmations. Really dig deep and look into all the things out there for your self-care. It helped me find myself again. I mean, there's nothing more valuable than that. And now I can sit here and say, even though like my life is not what I want it to be yet, I have the tools I need, and I have that like underlying foundation of like, I love myself. I forgive myself for my mistakes. I accept myself. You know, like I know who I am, and I'm like actively working on my goals and dreams like crazy. And that's because of this journey I went on. Well, as I kind of went through this healing process and like made big leaps and bounds and changes to the way I see myself, the way I perceive the world, I realized that I was in like the dark night of the soul for many years. I was in a dark place for many years. Many years. Number 3, set goals that align with your dream life and break them up into achievable action steps. So you can't get somewhere if you don't know where you're going. That's why goals are so important. And you don't have to know how you're going to get to that end goal. All you have to do is you have to know the first step and you have to take action. Number 2, use creative expression to release past emotions, to release past trauma, and to practice using your voice. And then use your voice in daily life. Your voice matters. But I think it's cool because the act of creative expression is such a naturally healing act. When we engage in creating something, we can take our deepest pain, our trauma, our grief, and put it into that art. And because we get to do that, it helps us release it and helps us to move on and helps us heal. And the cool part is when other people view that art or see that art or engage with that art, it can help them heal too. So much of what we go through with trauma and pain and grief, it's universal. And so when someone views that art, they also can release a piece of whatever sadness or grief they're holding on to. And because of that, creative expression connects us as humans, and it helps us heal together. We forget how powerful we are. So when we get to create art, we're putting something into the world that didn't exist before. Every piece of art, whether it's a song or a dance or a painting, it basically has a fingerprint, and it didn't exist before, right? It's almost like pretend play is for little kids, where they'll like pretend to cook or pretend to be a mom. When you're creating art, you're practicing your power of creation, because we get to create our lives. And so it's a reminder, a playful reminder that we have the power to create the life we want. I also like how, we create art, we can put our deepest pain or grief into that piece of art. And when we do that, you never like 100% forget about it, right? It's a part of you. But that grief or that trauma inside of you, it morphs into something different, something new, something more beautiful, something that's easier to say, hey, this is a part of me. something like quirky and fun and different and unique, as opposed to this horrible wound that it felt like before. And so it's such a healing process. I just love it. Everyone is an artist. So when's the last time you allowed yourself to create something, some form of art? When's the last time you allowed yourself to get into a flow state with some form of art? And I highly encourage you to try if that's not something you do on a regular basis. It doesn't matter if you think you're good or not, because it's not really about that. It's the process of art that is so healing and so fulfilling for humans. It's the process of creating it and taking a part of yourself, a piece of yourself, and putting it as this like physical thing that we can like see outside of yourself. It's like pulling a part of your soul out and showing its beauty and saying like, look, this is me. And number one, I'm going to tell you in just a second, but first a little bit about my story. I think one of the biggest like realizations for me was that people come into your life and they help you and they're there for you, and then a lot of times they leave. But at the end of the day, you have to save yourself. At the end of the day, you have to build your life. You have to fix your mindset. You have to love yourself. It's here, and it's empowering. It might be a little scary at first, but it's empowering when you realize that you have the power to heal yourself and to create the life you want. But at the end of the day, I completely saved myself. So I realized that I'm my own hero. And I believe that you can be your own hero. I know you can. So if you're struggling with anything at all, it doesn't really matter exactly what it is. If you're struggling, if you're going through it, if you're questioning your life, if you're questioning yourself, you can be your own hero. Number one, become the leader of your life. Take your power back and take control of your healing journey. Create the life you want. It is a choice, and it's your choice to make.